Deven, I want to start off with you first. We were just speaking with Ajay Srivastava, and he said that this is a healthy, orderly correction and not just panic selling, that we've seen in the last corrective phase. Is that your view as well, that one should approach it as an opportunity rather than selling out all your stocks?
Yeah, good morning, Sonia. Well, certainly I think if you look at the possibilities from here on for investors, and according to me, I think that's what I would like to keep an eye on. The valuation wise, the market has turned, I think, extremely attractive. It's probably more tempting than before. If last year was the time, I think, when most of the investors jumped into the market, at that point of time, I think it was more of an expectation-led kind of a rally. Today, I think it's more of a, reality, wherein the corporate sector is ready to deliver the performance in this financial year. So to a greater extent, I think what we have seen in past is more of a hope, and I think it is becoming a reality in this part of the financial year. It would be a gradual process, though I do believe that I think the corporate sector earning growth, I think, would ramp up eventually, I think, in quarter after quarter. So certainly I think this is a time when I think one would like to keep more confidence in the market, and at the same time I think start looking at individual stocks which are looking good for investments. To my surprise, I think many of the companies, even in the large cap space, are available at a valuation, I think, which is far more lucrative. Even when you compare those companies with some of the global players, as far as the business is concerned, I find that I think India is offering a great opportunity to the global investors to buy some of these good quality stocks, I think, which are available at a certainly very lucrative valuation. So yes, I think do believe that I think this fall or a correction is more of a healthy fall in this bull market. It would I'm not too sure I think where exactly I think the bottom is, but frankly I think I would believe that having seen 9,000 on Nifty and now I think below 8,000, somewhere the bottom should be I think close by. That's what my take would be. Even if I think one wants to take technical levels into account, I think somewhere at 7,800 I think the market should have good support, and it could possibly act as a I think a good buy support or confidence provider level. So maybe around this level I think the market is giving opportunity, as I would call it, and a gradual build up of portfolio is certainly I think the best preferred option in this kind of an environment.
That's truly good to hear, Deven, that you're not looking at too much downsides from here on. Ajay Srivastava was telling us that even he is looking at it as the last 5% of the fall perhaps for the market.
Deven, I wanted to get you in on some of these large cap names. I mean, the market may have fallen just about 12% from the top, but if you look at a lot of individual large cap names, names in the PSU banking space, some of the metal names, oil and gas names, they've all fallen 25 to 40% this year. Anything that you would recommend from large caps at this point to buy for a 1 to 2 year view?
Well, certainly I think, and you already I think touched upon the sectors and the stocks therein. I guess the PSU space, I think the banking space, the largest bank I think the PSU is available at a valuation I think which is once again I think extremely attractive, I would call it. Look at the business potential that one would get out of it. All the major hurdles are going out of it, including I think the last one where the RBI has basically allowed banks to convert the loans into the equity, I think, which is, according to me, I think is a very, very profound step, and it could possibly help some of these banks to I think reduce significantly their pressure which is there at the bottom line. And also from the point of view, the rate reduction has already started, the cycle has already started. It may halt for a while because of variety of reasons, but otherwise I think the down cycle has already started as far as the rates are concerned, which would ultimately revive the economy and the credit growth and the quality of assets, and I think the treasury yield of the bank's portfolio. All of it put together, I would think that I think this is an opportunity into the PSU bank space. Largely, I think the large bank vis-a-vis I think mid-size and small size. Mid-size and small size, I would still see some pains I think coming, so I will wait for that. Otherwise, I think the NBFCs, I think, which are having housing finance business, they are looking attractive once again with the valuation and the growth proposition. The companies which are holding or nurturing the insurance businesses, they are likely to see value unlocking, so they are looking attractive. So I think host of stocks, I think within the respective sectors, you probably find opportunity to add into the portfolio, and that's what I was referring to. That I think given the kind of a market in which we are right now, when the fall is taking place, I think some of these values are really becoming tempting, attractive to add into the portfolio. We may see fall technically in the market, that's a different issue, but the fundamentals are right in place according to me. I think that would probably give a large amount of confidence to investors when they stay invested. For next 2 years, I think they should get good return out of it.
Okay, Deven, before we let you go, I have a question on Reliance. What are you looking for in the AGM?
Well, I think more importantly this time the interesting element of the AGM probably, and I think it is covered largely into the annual report also. So from a public disclosed document also I think one can refer into. The 2 areas out of the 6 verticals that the company is having, business verticals having, are the refining area and the telecommunication area, wherein they are basically, I think last year they spent about 70,000 crores. Most likely, and other areas I think they already completed the capex program. So most likely I think in these 2 areas in financial year 15-16 the capex program is coming to an end. And one would like to keep an eye on, I think, the launch date for Jio, because it is expected that for such a large size capex that they have carried out in this business, probably I think they are much ready to now deliver the product, and maybe I think would be in a much better position to get the economics started as far as I think the business is concerned. To my mind, I think this business has got a huge potential as far as the payback period is concerned, and that is something which I would like to understand further as to how exactly I think the strategy would play out going forward. And of course in the refining segment, with the synthetic gas project coming up from the petcoke gasification, according to me I think the energy cost saving and the higher amount of margin contribution is given. Maybe I think one would like to understand as to how much the quantum would be as far as I think the growth in the margin is concerned. So these 2 areas are definitely I think I would be keenly watching it as far as I think the outcome is concerned. I'm not expecting I think too much of detail to get revealed in the AGM, which generally I think in the AGMs I think they don't spell out. But yet I think keeping an eye on them and I think focus on them would be more meaningful going forward as well.
All right, Deven, thanks for that.